Hi, my name is Jamie and I'm gay, and coming to terms with this and coming out was quite the bumpy and confusing ride. So when I was little, I never ever felt any attraction to any boy. I would never showed any interest in that, and I didn't even realize that I was in the closet because I didn't even know what being gay was. And so I said, okay, yeah, I'm gonna pretend to like these boys too. So what I did was I had this whole system set up. These girls would kind of like these boys in rotations. You know, every couple of weeks they'd switch who they were interested in. So I did that too. I was like, okay, for these 2 weeks I'm gonna have a crush on this boy, and then for these 2 weeks I'm going to have a crush on this boy. And I kept it in rotation, a passes straight kind of operation to keep them out of suspicion. And then when I told them, like, oh yeah, I totally have a crush on this boy, I didn't know what a crush was. I didn't even know what I was saying. I was just like, this is apparently something that girls have to do. Girls like boys, and that sucks, and so I'm gonna have to go along with it. I think of being gay as kind of like having and coming to terms with your queerness is kind of like having some sort of turkey in the oven or whatever. It's like it's cooking and it's cooking, and at some point you're well done cooked enough that you have to just take it out of the oven and show people. And so by high school, my gay had kind of been cooking for long enough that it was too painful. It felt too much like that lie weighed too much to say, oh yeah, I totally like these boys and I'm totally into these guys. And at one point I was talking to my friend and I was like, no, listen, you don't get it. I am not gay. I just don't like boys, never have, never will. Have no interest in, you know, the typical marriage of like getting married and finding a guy. I think about girls a lot. I obsessively watch content by singers like Hayley Kiyoko, and I really enjoy seeing, you know, representation, and I'm constantly shipping female characters together, and I'm obsessed with female superheroes and princesses and actresses, and oh god, I'm gay. Like, that moment I realized how ridiculous the lies I had spun. Like, I'm not like other girls kind of thing that I used to deny. And no, I'm not gay. I'm just not like other girls. I'm not gay. I'm just studious. I'm just too focused on school and being smarter than everyone to have crushes or love interests. No. So it was stuff like that I kept telling myself over and over again, but I would have little moments in between when I first started to know things were weird until like in high school when I finally came out and came to terms with who I was. That kind of snapped me out of those stories that I was telling myself, those lies. There was a moment when I realized I don't have a gay cousin, and then I realized, oh god, it's because I am the gay cousin. And that's just a really hard burden to carry. And eventually though, it was just getting too much to keep in. I had to tell my parents. So I came up with this elaborate scheme. I couldn't just tell them because that would be too hard. So I wrote out this entire letter by hand, old-fashioned letter, explaining the history of gay, how I was, pretty much explaining this entire why I was queer and why they should have known and blah, 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 blah. And in between, in the letter, I would have different links. I would have an iPad right next to the letter when I set it up for them, this whole coming out production. And so I set up the iPad, and it had links to different videos, and in the letter it would cue them, okay, you've made it to this part of the letter, now pull up video A on the iPad that I had all of the letters pulled up. One of them was a music video by Hayley Kiyoko, the one that I saw, the Girls Like Girls music video. That kind of really helped me realize what I was missing in terms of LGBT representation, because it was the first time I saw a music video about two girls in love. And so I pulled that up, and it was just this whole production. And then I set it up, I said, hey, please look at this, and then I bolted out of the house. I wanted nothing to do with it. It was too emotionally difficult. And so then I kind of got a text from my dad that was like, we watched it, we love you. And I was like, cool. And I walked back in the house. It's almost like a baptism, you know. I left the house, their wonderful heterosexual daughter, and I come back in gay. And, you know, it was just like, hi. It was very awkward and very difficult, but that's how I came out.